Hello, and welcome to True Crime and Storytime. I am your host, Christy, and here we talk about a true crime or a story that either you've recommended or one that I have personally been interested in. Hey guys, welcome back to episode 5. As you can see, I did a different intro. I kind of want to try something new. I think that the original intro I had just took way too long. So I figured this would be a shorter, sweeter intro to our videos. Today we're going to be talking about somebody really evil and vile. There's going to be a lot of screen recordings. So this is a trigger warning because it does involve murder and children and just all the bad things. And I wanted to warn you guys about the screen recordings because there will be like banners that pop up on my phone. I apologize in advance. I will do my best to try to minimize the videos so you don't see it as much, but you're still getting the gist of what I'm talking about. I'm just going to get right into it.
When you left Stephanie's,
it was still daytime.
It was still daytime?
Yes.
Okay. Were there still a lot of people out?
It was still people out.
Okay.
It was still people out. Not a lot in that area. By the park, it was a lot of people out.
Okay.
Like I said, it looked like something was, I don't know what the hell. But it was a lot of people out. And it was, like I said, it was people, it was older couples walking down the street. It was younger people walking down the street. People
it looked like an event or something was going on?
I don't know, but it kind of seemed like it was a lot, like it was something going on to where it was vibrant. Because it was a lot of people everywhere.
Walking up and down the street.
Everywhere. It's people. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I got into a fight with her right there, it would be impossible for somebody to not be like, hey, this guy's fighting this chick or whatever the case may be. Like, how could somebody not see something?
How long was it between leaving Stephanie's and those cops yelling at you at the door of that guy's house?
Was it dark when they yelled at you?
Yeah, by the time they came, it was dark.
Okay.
But we had been sitting out there. For a minute, me and the guy. We were sitting right there on the porch. We were just sitting there.
Define how long, estimate.
Maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
It wasn't long, but it was long enough for, like I said, he let me use his phone. We sat on the porch. We were sitting right there, just like this, just sitting on the porch. While I called me an Uber. I called the Uber. I said, look, man, I let him know. I said, look, I ain't trying to rob you or nothing like that. Because when I knocked on the door, he kind of was like, whoa. I'm like, look, I don't got no weapons. I'm not trying to break in your house. I'm not trying to rob you. Nothing like that, dog. I just need to call an Uber. That's it. I'm not, he was just like, okay. I'll come out. Boom. I need an Uber to, what's your address? He told me the address. And we was just sitting there waiting. That's how I was going to get back home. I told him, I said, I got the money on my card. I'm not asking you for no money. I just need to use your phone. That's it. That was it. That was all. And then from there, we sat on the porch and just shot the shit out.
I'm saying, you told me last night he was cool with that. Like, he wasn't,
yeah,
he wasn't being weird. He was just like, oh, yeah, I'll help you out.
Yeah, we just sat there on the porch.
Right.
And he did ask me, he said, do you need a jacket? I said, no, I'm straight. Like, I'll be home as soon as the Uber come. I know it's probably going to cost me probably like $40 to get from me. I'm guessing. I don't know, but probably. But I had enough on my card to where I knew I can get home. And that was the main thing. I'm like, I'm just going home. She can keep the money or whatever. I didn't even try to contact her further. I just was like, I'm gone. I'm calling this Uber and I'm going home. That's it.
Let me ask you this, Darrell. So you weren't out in Waukesha Saturday, just Sunday?
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay. Nothing physical yesterday. Like I told you, you're a part in the investigation. There's a lot of parts, right? To any investigation. There's people we talk. Well, this domestic abuse thing I'm telling you about, right? Okay.
So wait.
Hold on. Let me go.
I'm sorry. I just had a question, but
you talked about being a religious man, right?
I can do better.
God.
I I could
We all
definitely do
could.
better.
We all could.
I'm not.
We all could.
No,
That's
that's
why.
perfect.
That's why.
Yesterday was a mistake. I should have just freaking watched the game and just fucking went home.
Right.
Because.
And that's the thing. What do they teach us in Christianity, Darrell? That they teach us that we're broken, right? We're sinners. Even when we're born sinners. We're broken. That's why
Psalm
we're
51,
so
17.
thankful for God's grace and forgiveness, right? When we ask for it. Even though we don't deserve it. But when we ask for it, He gives it. All right? You're a father. You got 3 children, 18, 14, and 7?
Yes, sir.
All right, you got a mama that raised you well, and a God you believe in.
Absolutely.
All right, and all of them are, here's the thing they'll all want, is to tell that you're telling the absolute whole truth and nothing but the truth, right?
Absolutely.
So help you God, right?
Absolutely.
Sound familiar? We've all heard that, right? And I just have concerns if I fact check that Darrell's not telling me the truth. You don't have a car, so Marcus had to bring you out. You don't own a car, your mom doesn't own a car, right? So Marcus had to bring you out. So why did we find you with a car key in your pocket?
It wasn't in my pocket. I don't even know where they said that was laying on the ground.
That's yours.
Yeah. It should have been by my ID.
Yeah, it's yours. It's your car key, okay? Because it goes to a Ford Escape in your mom's name covered in Waukesha. Okay. Listen, Darrell. I'm trying to be as open and honest with you as I can be. You know, I'm Christian too, and believe me, I'm not perfect. And neither are you. And I'm not calling you a terrible man. I'm not saying you were out yesterday hunting, and just let me finish. But you did not walk to that house. You did not walk to that house. You did not come here in a tan Kia. You didn't.
And who?
You did not come out here in a tan Kia. Okay? You got a key in your pocket to a car in your mom's name. Okay? And that key works for that car. For the love of God, Marcus. For yourself, for your family. You know what happened yesterday. For the people. Tell me what happened.
Well, what?
With the car.
What am I being
With your
investigated
mom's
for?
car. You were driving goofy. People called in. You drove out of there in your mom's car, the red car. You're driving a little silly, probably because you're pissed. You met up with Erica in the car at the park. Now, initially, I believe you told us the gas station. Do I have that right? And then you changed it to the park. So that's an inconsistency.
No, I said the house was by the gas station. When you said what was by.
You said you went
Landmark.
and it was by a gas station. That's where you met her.
No. I said I met her at the park.
Okay.
At a
Well,
creek.
you met her,
I did say that.
You met her at the park in your mom's car. A red Ford Escape. She got in. You talked. And what you're telling me seems pretty consistent, that there was nothing physical between the two of you.
No.
But you met her in the car.
I didn't put my hands on her or nothing.
But you met her in the car.
What's going on, man?
Asking you a question. You were out there
just
driving
tell me
kind of
what's
crazy.
going on,
Some
man.
people said you were driving kind of crazy. We got reports of it. You got the key. You got the car. Did you take the car, or did your mom give you the car? I know you know what car I'm talking about.
I just want to know. So
Some people
Now,
reported,
listen,
all those
okay,
people out there, they
no.
reported that car driving a bit erratic.
I know what you're saying. All I'm saying is this. We all been straight up with each other. You knew it was more to what you was asking me yesterday.
Didn't know
That
for
would
sure.
explain the FBI and all that, right?
They're not here today. So if it's that big a deal, you don't see them here today.
Come on, Kurt. Hey, we been.
You guys met in the car in the park.
We been
Yeah,
cool,
that's all.
man, the whole time. If I did something
Yeah.
wrong,
that's why they were
serious-
here. But do you see them here today? They're not here today.
Yeah, but y'all lied to me, man. You made it seem like they just come for no reason.
Well, here's the thing, Darrell.
And I'm like, what
And
if it's
listen to
that?
me for a minute.
I apologize.
I can give you a clean slate here.
I apologize.
Because you have lied to us as well. Because you came out here in the red Ford Escape. Okay, that is what you came out here in. You had the key. All right? So what I want to do is try to give us all a chance to reset. You understand what I'm saying? Start over. Because you're not giving us an accurate story. You didn't ride out with Marcus in a tan car. You said your mom doesn't have a car. I've just told you we've disproven that. All right? I don't know what kind of woman she is. I don't know what you all been through. But you were seen in the car driving kind of acting a fool. Okay? In basically the same area that you've already been able to describe to me. I'm just trying to figure out how and why it happened. What made you tear out of there? What made you so mad where you're like, fuck it, and you raced on out of there? And then people go, man, he's driving around here kind of fast.
All I want to know, like I said, y'all been cool with me. Am I charged with anything? That's all I want to know. I'll tell you anything you want to know.
Right now.
Listen.
You were driving a bit
reckless.
Listen. Might be an OWI.
No, listen. No, I don't drink.
You said you had a couple cold ones during the game.
No, yeah, but I'm saying the hard alcohol is not my thing. I was not drunk. When you get the
With that tragedy in Wisconsin where a man drove his SUV into a Christmas parade. At least 5 people were killed and more than 40 injured. Alex Perez is live on the scene in Waukesha, Wisconsin with the latest. Good morning, Alex.
Hey, good morning, George. Still a lot of unanswered questions. Take a look behind me here. You can see authorities are still here on the scene. It was supposed to be a day filled with holiday cheer, filled with kids, even a group called the Dancing Grannies. But it ended with terror and death.
There's like 7 injured that way. There's so many down there.
Overnight, a holiday horror in Wisconsin.
Maroon Ford Escapes with blue while heading into the parade road.
According to officials, at least 5 people were killed and more than 40 others injured when a red SUV plowed into Waukesha, Wisconsin's Christmas parade.
A red SUV came barreling down the middle of the road, kind of swerving in and out. I would say maybe going 30 miles per hour. And I did see it hit people after the car kind of passed through.
The speeding vehicle seen on camera barreling past crowds and marchers before slamming into a high school band and other groups. The horrifying moment caught on camera from a neighbor's balcony, and witnesses say the driver didn't stop there.
My son was in the parade, marching with Waukesha South High School Band. I was helping pick up some of the instruments that were still laying in the street, and I picked up a crushed, bloody saxophone. It was pretty awful.
Panic also caught on camera in the aftermath. Lawn chairs and possessions left behind. People screaming for their loved ones. The SUV plunging into the crowd at 4:39 p.m., striking dozens of people. Firefighters marching in the parade, springing into action, with 12 departments assisting the injured.
Waukesha Public Schools will be closed tomorrow. Requesting that everyone continue to stay away from the scene. The roads will remain closed at least 24 hours.
According to police, an officer discharging their weapon in an attempt to stop the vehicle. No bystanders hit by that gunfire, but the hurtling truck narrowly missing families lined up to share in the holiday spirit.
It just struck me afterwards in the aftermath of everything, just how you have so many people who are there just to spread joy and cheer and be positive, and it just changes everything in an instant.
Among the injured, a Catholic priest and multiple parishioners and Catholic school children.
And Robin, police say a person of interest is in custody. At this point, it appears there is no nexus to terrorism, but so many people here waking up with sorrow and shock. Robin?
A Christmas celebration that turned tragic in Wisconsin. Several people are dead and dozens injured after an SUV plowed into a Christmas parade. And now one man is in custody.
And we need to warn you, we're going to show you some of the video from when it happened. This is in Waukesha, Wisconsin, a suburb of Milwaukee. We're joined by Marissa Para with the latest. Marissa.
Ron, this time yesterday, people were lining the streets for a beloved Christmas tradition, one that would descend into chaos just hours later. Police have identified the driver of this SUV who plowed into a crowd at a holiday parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin, as 39-year-old Darrell Brooks of Milwaukee. Police say he was fleeing a domestic disturbance and that he acted alone.
There's no evidence that this is a terrorist incident.
We got about 10 to 15 people down in the street. We also got multiple critical cases.
Police say an officer shot at the SUV to try to stop it, but had to stop firing to avoid the crowd. The 5 victims who died range in age between 52 to 81 years old.
This is Darrell Edward Brooks, Jr. He was born February 21st, 1982 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, to Darrell Edwards Sr. and Dawn Woods. He has 3 children. From what I could gather, 2 different mothers, but I may be wrong. At 11 years old, he was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. At 12 years old, he was committed to mental hospitals for a number of different things. And between the ages of 12 and 17, he had a number of suicide attempts. On January 9th, 2007, when Brooks was just 24 years old, I believe, going on 25, he had done a documentary called Crystal Darkness. Crystal Darkness is based on people that have been addicted to meth or are currently addicted to meth and how it affects them. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip.
I didn't think about, I got this beautiful kid who's going without my time. I thought I would just be this wonderful father, just be the greatest dad ever. The vision is just like, I'm gonna give him everything that I didn't have. But then it's like, reality set in. You actually become the drug. Not even a human being, basically. That's how I felt. Like I wasn't a human anymore. I was just something vile, disgusting, despicable. I could go on. I could use a lot of words, but that's what I became. It's really what I became.
Once a person takes a hit of methamphetamine, they're in. And they're in for all of it. And once they step into that darkness, that drug controls them.
What you're doing when you enter this life is basically you're signing a contract. It's very fine line. You're past that now. Now you're druggy.
Brooke was convicted of a number of different felonies from 1999 on out. In 1999, at the young age of 17 years old, it was battery intending to cause bodily injury. Well, in 2005, he moved to Reno, Nevada. And in 2006, he was charged with statutory sexual seduction and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The victim was 15 years old. She also got pregnant and bore a child. Because of this conviction, he was a registered sex offender. Now, in between those times and to where we are currently, he's been incarcerated for drugs, weapons, traffic violations, resisting arrest, just you name it, he's done it. But what's more shocking is that 3 weeks before he decided to plow into that crowd in Waukesha County, he was actually arrested for running over the mother of one of his children. He had bonded out 2 days prior to this incident. This 2010 Ford Escape is the murder weapon. This is the vehicle registered to his mother that he used to injure 62 men, women, children, as well as the elderly, and take 6 lives. Now that I've given you guys the rundown of who this man is, I have to tell you that I'm not even really interested in him before the incident. I'm more or less interested in our justice system and how they were able to let a convicted felon go for so long. I mean, we are talking 22 years of his shenanigans, and nothing was done. Not until it was too late. So the clips that I'm going to show you, and I'm not putting them in any specific order, is just of his antics and shenanigans during the entire trial. The disrespect that he was able to parade around in front of the jury, the judge, the prosecutors, everybody that's out in the audience. Like, this man has lost his mind. And I personally feel like his situation is something that should cause for judicial reform and decorum. Like, how somebody is allowed to behave when they're in the courtroom should definitely be looked at. How somebody is able to get away with the years of misconduct and being a threat not only to himself but to the rest of society, it seriously baffles me. So I think I'll start off with one clip and then I'll comment on it when it's done.
Without having that letter.
So
the state has the ability to question you about that, or question this witness, and to look at the veracity of what your claims are here. So when I may take an early lunch, and if that's in your cell, then you can go get it and bring it. But without that letter, I'm not allowing this line of questioning. Do you have the letter with you in court?
I just said no. How
Okay.
many times I got to say the same thing on record?
You know, sometimes, sir, I don't hear what you say because you interrupt me so much or you answer quietly. And I'm taking notes and I'm focused on probably a dozen things at the same time.
But if I say something under my breath, everybody seems to hear it. Everybody seems to hear
In
that
a
just
quiet
fine.
courtroom,
And
yes,
everybody
we can hear it very clearly.
Everybody assumes that it has to be disparaging.
Once again, you're doing this tactic.
Because
it's
not a tactic, it's facts.
What we're talking
It's facts.
about to some other reason.
It's facts. Because I find
thing.
it hard to believe that
I'm going to
all
let
of
the
a sudden
state.
nobody hears what I say.
I'm going to let the
Come on,
state
man,
make
stop.
a record of why they
Stop.
believe it's objectionable, because I haven't let them do that. I've given you multiple opportunities to tell me why you
So
believe
I
it's.
didn't get these pictures from nobody else. Why was
The
somebody
record will
else
reflect you have 2 pictures that you believe were from this witness.
that I know is from him?
No, that you believe.
That I know.
All right, I'll ask the state their position on all of this.
My position, Your Honor, is that these pictures, first of all, should not be admissible. 1, because of a discovery violation. We've never seen them before. 2, because we have reason to believe that he did not get them from Erica Patterson. He is on a jail phone call talking to his mother, Dawn Woods, about Dawn Woods sending these photographs to him. Now,
that's a lie. I object to
Let
that.
the state make their argument without interruption, sir.
That's a lie, though.
3, I believe that these photographs are designed to make a suggestion to the jury that Erica Patterson is a bad mom. I think that that's what the defendant is trying to do. And if we're going to go down that road, then we would be forced to counter that claim. First of all, it doesn't make her an incredible witness, if it's even true. And second of all, if we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim by pointing out that not only does the defendant not live with the child in question, he doesn't live with any of the other children that he has. He impregnated Erica Patterson when she was a minor in Nevada, and for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction, pled guilty in March of 2007 to that felony offense, and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erica Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And that's
Furthermore,
I object to that.
I'm not
because
done.
that's a lie.
Let him
at the end of the day,
Let him finish.
If we gonna open the door
Mr.
on that, no,
Brooks.
since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate all on the record. Since you think you know so much,
Once
so
again,
we can
Mr.
open the
Brooks
door
is
on.
being
We can
loud,
open the door on how old she told me
disrespectful,
she was when
interrupting.
we met. We can ask that question
He is
too. Then
over the
Did you
top,
ask that?
animated
Did you
right
know
now.
that?
Mr. Brooks, I'm ordering you to sit down and to let the state
No,
finish.
no, I'm not going to sit here and let somebody be inaccurate on the record and lie on the record.
Right. Under Illinois versus Allen, I've warned him repeatedly. He's being removed from the courtroom. And you know what? Let me dial that back. We're just going to take an early lunch, 1 hour. We'll be back. And unless he brings that letter and he can show it is inadmissible, she will not be questioned. And under 906.11, I will declare the cross-examination closed. Thank you. We're in recess. 1 hour.
Get your facts straight. So let's open the door on all of it then, so we can get all of it on the record. Since you think you know so much. Did you know she said she was 18 when I met her? Did you know that?
So that's just a little bit of his behaviors throughout the entire trial. What I'm going to do is now look over to my phone and I'm going to read to you the standards of decorum and courtesy within their courts in Wisconsin. So according to SCR, which is Standards and Courtesy of Decorum, 6201, the Uniform Standards of Courtroom Courtesy and Decorum in SCR 62.02 adopted to enhance the administration of justice by promoting good manners and civility among all who participate in the administration of justice in Wisconsin. And this is applicable to judges, court commissioners, lawyers, court personnel, and the public in all Wisconsin's courts, which means that he's out here acting out thinking, and this is just an opinion, but thinking that him getting louder or interrupting the judge is going to help his case. And unfortunately, there is the saying that your client has a fool for a lawyer. Like when you're representing yourself, your client has a fool for a lawyer. He does not know the law the way a lawyer would, or at all, for all I know. And he's just spewing things to try to make it to where the case is dismissed. I believe I have another clip where he's talking about he feels that the judge should dismiss the case. I'm going to have to check, and if it's there, I'll reference back to this video, of course, and let you guys know that, yes, I did find it, and here's the clip. But we are going to carry on to the next.
You're under, how does someone recall the details that they don't recall?
Yeah, that's what I want.
Sustain this to the form of a question.
Seems very funny. Seems almost as if you're recalling what you want to recall and purposely not.
Objection. Badgering the witness.
Yes, sustained. You do not have to answer that, and you are warned. You may not badger or argue with this witness. Next question.
Badger or argue? What do you mean?
Next question.
What do you mean?
Don't intimidate the witness is what I mean.
How am I intimidating the witness?
Badgering the witness by eye rolling, by pursing your lips, by making facial movements regarding her answers.
Does she feel intimidated?
Is badgering the witness.
Are you kidding me?
Under 906.11, please ask your next question.
You can't be serious right now. Intimidating the witness. What have I done to intimidate the witness?
The last question was badgering, which is a form.
But you said
Mr. Brooks, I made my ruling under 906.11. Please ask a question or I will stop the questioning.
How did I intimidate?
Under 906.11, sub 1, sub A, sub B, and sub C, ask your next question, or the questioning of this witness will end.
How are you even a judge?
All right, you may step down, ma'am. Thank you.
How are you even a judge?
Come on, man. This must be all about the 62 trust, right? That you want to be the beneficiary of?
I am going to give the jury their closing instruction. We are done with testimony for today. Please do not begin your deliberations and discussion of the case until all the evidence is presented and I have instructed you on the law. Do not discuss this case among yourselves or with anyone else until your final deliberations in the jury room. This order is not limited to face-to-face conversations. It also extends to all forms of electronic communications. Do not use any electronic devices such as a mobile phone or computer, text or instant messaging or social networking sites to send or receive any information about this case or your experience as a juror. If you come in contact with the parties, lawyers, interpreters, or witnesses, do not speak with them. For their part, the parties, lawyers, interpreters, and witnesses will not contact or speak with the jurors. Do not listen to any conversation about this case. Do not research any information that you personally think might be helpful to you in understanding the issues presented. Do not investigate this case on your own or visit the scene either in person or by any electronic means. Do not read any newspaper reports or listen to any news reports on radio, television, over the internet, or any other electronic application or tool about this trial. Do not consult dictionaries, computers, electronic applications, social media, the internet, or other reference materials for additional information. Do not seek information regarding the public records of any party or witness in this case. Any information you obtain outside the courtroom could be misleading, inaccurate, or incomplete. Relying on this information is unfair because the parties would not have the opportunity to refute, explain, or correct it. Do not communicate with anyone about this trial or your experience as a juror while you are serving on this jury. Do not use a computer, cell phone, or other electronic device, including personal wearable electronics applications or tools with communication capabilities, to share any information about this case. For example, do not communicate by telephone, blog post, email, text message, instant message, social media post, or in any other way on or off the computer. Do not permit anyone to communicate with you about this matter, either in person, electronically, or by any other means. If anyone does so, despite you telling them not to, you should report that to me. I appreciate that it's tempting when you go home in the evening to discuss this case with another member of your household, but you may not do so. This case must be decided by you, the jurors, based on the evidence presented in the courtroom. People not serving on this jury have not heard the evidence, and it is improper for them to influence your deliberations and decision in this case. After this trial is completed, you are free to communicate with anyone in any manner. These rules are intended to assure that jurors remain impartial throughout the trial. If any juror has reason to believe that another juror has violated these rules, you should report that to me. If jurors do not comply with these rules, it could result in a new trial involving additional time and significant expense to the parties and the taxpayers. You are to decide the case solely on the evidence offered and received at trial. I'll have the jurors report on Monday at 9 a.m. Thank you. You are excused. Please rise for the jury.
Call yourself a judge as much as bias you put up in here. Don't even tell the jury the truth. Got no integrity whatsoever. None. None.
Thank you, everyone. Please be seated. I would like an update on whether Mr. Brooks filled out a subpoena for Dawn Woods and provided that to the state. Has that been done?
No, we haven't received anything, Your Honor, and obviously she can appear here voluntarily if Mr. Brooks wants to arrange that. I don't believe a subpoena is necessary. We had subpoenaed her, and she was under state subpoena. So I know that at least some point she had notice. But our position would be, Your Honor, that we will not be responsible in any fashion for producing Miss Woods. Mr. Brooks talks to her on a daily basis. If he wants her here, he can produce her on Monday.
Yeah, they ain't got to worry about that.
So I just wanted to know, because I know a subpoena form was filled out.
If I want her to be here, she gonna be here.
I agree with
So
the
just-
state
just
that
know that.
She could certainly appear.
It ain't even got to be no arrangement. All I got to say is come. She gonna come. That simple.
Mr. Brooks, do you intend to call her as a witness? Because I'm directing you to have her here at 9 a.m.
We said all that at the beginning, man. Like, I don't even want to be in here that much longer. Just do what you got to do so I can get up out of here. I'm tired of being in the courtroom that has no integrity whatsoever. How can you even call yourself a
Mr.
judge?
Brooks, I need to make a record of some
I need to make a record too.
You don't
When
need
am I going to get the chance to do that?
All right, I need to make a record. He's being removed to the other courtroom. He is yelling at me. He's not going to let me make a statement. or make the record that I need to make.
I'm finna
He
lose
hasn't
anyway,
sat
so
down
we'll do it
for
now.
the better part of 2 hours.
All you want. You can hold me in contempt all you want.
I'm not
All
holding you in
gotta do is tell me
contempt.
if it's criminal or civil, so I can hit you with you.
I need to clear the courtroom because I do need
I'm
to
gonna give
make.
you what you know is coming.
I need him to go to the
If
other
it's civil,
courtroom because I do need to put some
if
things
it's
on the
civil,
record. The record should
where's the
reflect
contract between you
that
and I?
Mr. Brooks
If it's
is
criminal,
yelling at me.
what is the crime?
He is.
Who makes the claim? And what
He
is
is.
the...
I will make the record when we get back. I will step off, but Mr. Brooks, you're being
It ain't
taken
no
to the
Mr.
next
It ain't no Mr.
courtroom.
Brooks. Don't try to address me
Thank
like
you.
that, like we cool. You don't have no integrity. How can you even call yourself a judge? Making tacit agreements, being biased, judicial misconduct, trying to steal somebody's system.
So I have a different background, a different color shirt because this is a different day of recording. I haven't been feeling well, but I'm trying to listen to my body and rest when I have to, record when I can. And that's what I'm doing. About this clip we just watched, there's a reason why we have attorneys, right? They know the terminology. They know the do's and don'ts. If a judge says something, they know how to act accordingly. Don't ever represent yourself, especially if you don't know anything. And he clearly doesn't. His disrespect to how a courtroom is supposed to function is evident. Me personally, I'd be like, no ma'am, you got to go. Like we're not doing this today. Her attempting to talk over him continuously wouldn't have been me. Wouldn't have been me. Remove him. I'm going to get out what I need to say. And if there is time, he can get out what he needs to say. But to be upset because you don't understand what badgering is, you don't know what that is, and then questioning the judge's ability to be a judge. It's such an oxymoron to me. Not an oxymoron. Hypocrisy. You're questioning how she's a judge. Well, how are you representing yourself? What law degree do you have? What laws do you know that enables you to behave the way that you are in a courtroom? Because there are none. There's rules and regulations and guidelines and laws and things like that. And you are steady. You broke the law, which is why you're there. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. The bail jumping, the domestic situation with the girlfriend, and the barreling through, killing 6 and injuring 62. And you think you have the right to question how she judges? Bro, you shouldn't even be representing yourself. Like, that's why I did this case, because this dude, infuriating. He irritates my soul.
So, I'm advising you that if you don't call her right now, you will forfeit your right to call her.
Is that lawful law?
Sir, I believe I have the authority to do that. She's here. She's ready to go.
I'm just
She's
asking
your
the question.
witness.
I'm just asking the question. Is that lawful law?
I have the authority under 90611 and other rules and the inherent authority of this court to control the order and mode of interrogation.
Your Honor,
of witnesses.
why is it always so hard to just say yes or no?
Yes,
Is it lawful
I have
law?
the authority, sir.
I'm not disputing that.
You just
I'm not disputing.
that.
No, I asked the question. Is it lawful law?
Sir, I've told you what I believe my authority is. Okay,
You
if
told
you
me
don't want
what
to
you-
recognize it,
you
that's
told
fine.
me
You
your
want to
authority.
object and note it, that's
you told
fine.
me your
Your
authority.
objection
I'm
is
not.
noted
I'm not
on the
debating
record.
your authority. I'm not.
So I will address one other issue with you because you said you had an issue regarding the last witness, which is fine. We can address that quickly, and then I'm going to have the jury brought in, and that will be your opportunity to call
That's a
Ms.
misdirect.
Patterson.
That's a misdirect. What issue did I said I had with the
You
last?
said you wanted to raise
said-
an issue with about Detective
What I
Guzman's
said was
testimony.
I might have more questions for that witness. I didn't say it was an issue.
Oh, I didn't hear that, sir. You had your opportunity to ask the witness questions. He's been released.
Your Honor, if I mumble something under my breath, somehow that's audible, but when I talk clearly, somehow
I may
nobody
have
hears
missed
me.
it, but I heard what I interpreted was when you said I may have an issue with this witness, I didn't understand. I guess I didn't take that as you were going to reserve your right to recall him. Are you telling me you'd like to reserve your right to recall Detective Guth?
Yes.
All right, then that will be noted, and we'll keep him under the subpoena. Now, that should address that. I'll have the jury brought back in, and you should be prepared if you choose to call Ms. Patterson. This is your opportunity to do it.
At the same time, though, that's still a rush to judgment, Your Honor. You can't. I shouldn't be forced to call people in the order that I'm being told to when these are my witnesses.
You did not want to provide us with the order, and I respected that, Mr. Brooks.
But I said that.
And
from the
so
beginning.
then I asked
Your
you
Honor,
to put him in blocks.
with all respect, did I not inform Your Honor in the court that I would not give a specific order? I stated that numerous times.
And Mr. Brooks,
Numerous
I
times.
have authority to tell you otherwise. You may not like it. You may disagree with it.
It's not about that. It's about the rush to judgment,
You have not been
Your Honor.
cooperating with this process. The
There's
state
nothing
has
to cooperate
graciously
with.
agreed to assist you given your custodial status.
Okay, and I never asked them to do
Any
that.
attorney in this
I
situation
never asked them to do that, Your Honor.
would give us the order.
Did I not? Did I ask them to do that? I did not ask them to do that. They volunteered.
They offered.
So at the end of the day,
but we expect
if
your
they didn't want to do
cooperation in
it,
that.
yeah, but that wasn't one of the stipulations when they offered to do it, Your Honor. Let's
No, common courtesy is the stipulation.
Okay,
sir.
but it wasn't
and here's the
stipulated
thing.
to, so I didn't have.
You are well advised of how this process was going to go.
No, I was not.
It is
because
normal
if you
in a trial.
you can't
to call
put the people
witnesses
you can't
out
put the
of
people
order
in a
based on
specific
their
spot for
availability.
me, Your Honor. Come on now.
It is.
That's a rush to judgment.
There's no rush to judgment here. You
Did
keep
the state
saying
did the
that,
state
sir,
have to
but
put
that's
their
not the
witnesses?
case.
Your Honor, with all due respect, did the state have to put their witnesses in order and tell me?
It's irrelevant what the state did. in
Did they
that
have to
regard.
do that?
They didn't need your assistance to do that.
Did they have to do it?
No, they did not.
I didn't have to be
do it.
provided with. We're going to call this witness at this time,
But they're
and this
able
witness at this
to
time.
contact
They
their
didn't have to do that, so why should I have
and
to do that?
accommodate their schedules. This is not about you. It's not about the state. It's about the witnesses'
It's about what's fair.
availability.
It's about what's fair.
No, frankly, sir, it's about you trying to control what's happening in this court.
How am I controlling what's happening? I'm the one shackled to the table with
So here's the
with a shock
situation.
device
It is
on my ankles.
9:52.
So how's I'm trying to control anything?
I'm
I
having
just
to-
want this
I'm
to be
going
fair,
to-
and it hasn't been fair.
Mr. Brooks, it's fair.
No, it's not. If I have to do something that they don't have to do, how's that fair?
It's fair.
Explain to
because
me how
of
that's
the
fair.
process that it has been set up to, frankly, help you. get
No,
the
it's not
witnesses
helping me by
to
it's helping
court.
the state
And no.
by being able to say if we know the time and we know
You
the
did
person
not-
and we
I
know this,
asked you-
then we can be prepared. So we'll already be ready.
Mr. Brooks,
That was
I
the
asked
whole
you
aim of that.
yesterday, and I would have had her come in later. You didn't want to answer that question.
There was no
And
question. There was no question to answer.
That's not
I
true.
did what you asked me to do, Your Honor. You
No, you
said
didn't.
yes, you did. You did. You asked me to give them my witness
Mr.
list.
Brooks,
I gave them
yesterday-
my witness list. It's not my fault.
I very
It's not my fault they
expressly-
weren't going to be prepared to
Mr.
do
Brooks,
their
here's the
to
deal.
do
The
their
jury's
cross.
coming out, and I'm going to stand my ground on this.
I'm going to
Okay?
stand my
It
ground
is-
too, but I'm
if
not
you
going. I'm not
don't
going to
call
be
her-
disrespectful or disruptive.
If you
I'm just
don't
stating I
call
wanted to be
her,
fair.
When the jury comes back out, I'm releasing her from the subpoena.
You can't do that.
For
Law-
your
where's
lack
the
of
lawful law?
cooperation.
Where's the lawful law? I have the right to
You
witnesses,
have to cooperate with this process.
but I
sir.
also have the Sixth Amendment right.
We have a witness available for you to call. I can require
It's
you
not
to
the witness
call her
that
right
should have
now.
been called at this time, Your Honor.
It is based on the list that you provided and
That didn't
in the
have a
order.
time. That didn't have a time or of
I'm not going to
or
play
order.
this game with you, sir.
It's not no game. That's
It
what
was-
you don't
it
seem
is
to
a game
understand.
you. I believe that fully.
I don't care what you believe fully.
All right.
It's not a game.
We.
I don't take
I
this
asked
as a game. That's what
me explain
nobody.
this to you
That's what
once
nobody.
again.
You don't got to explain nothing to me.
Do you want?
That's what you don't understand. You think
you
that
want
this
the
is a whole
opportunity
game
to
to me.
question?
This is not a game to me, Your Honor. Nothing about this is a joke.
I never
That's
said
what
it
y'all
was a
don't
joke.
understand.
But there's
And it's
some things in the
unfair.
ship
It's
that's going on.
unfair and it's disrespectful to me that you think I would come in here purposely and treat this like a joke or a game.
I never said it was a
What
joke.
What type of statement is that? Your life is not on the line. Mine is. And you think that I think this is funny?
I don't think it's funny whatsoever.
So,
And I understand.
I think, Your Honor, with all due respect, I think you should show some
We're going to take a
respect.
5-minute break, and when we come back, the jury's coming out, and you need to call your next witness. Thank you. We are in recess.
No, you're not rushing me to judgment. I don't care what you're talking about.
That entire clip just gave me a headache, for real, because, like, bro, you're saying the same things over and over again. Rush to judgment for everything. I don't even think he knows what that means. Sorry, my grandma's in the background. Then, he's saying this isn't a game to him, that his life is on the line. You knew your life was on the line when you dismissed your attorneys. Like, I don't understand. I genuinely don't get where this man is coming from. Sorry, I had a chip in my tooth. I could never. The puppies. I would never try to defend myself and you guys, it's frustrating. Let me try this again. I would never attempt to defend myself on any kind of murder charge. Any charge, really, because I don't know the law like that. You can go to any law library and think that you have all the answers. But people do years of school, not days, not weeks, years. I think it's like 8 to 12 or something like that. Like, I just don't get what he thinks being disrespectful and talking to the judge and representing himself is going to do for him. And then to have the audacity, literally the audacity to tell the judge, I think you should show respect. Bro, I think you should pump your brakes. Because, not today. You guys, I'm irritated. I am. So I'm going to upload this video. I will do a part 2 later on in the week. I think I need a good deep tissue massage and some nice calming music and a couple dozen bottles of wine or whatever, because no. Part 2 will be coming soon, I promise.